It's absolutely breathtaking when we hear exactly those words, funding of production of viruses in the documents that you just published about the Wuhan laboratory. What are the reasons and what is the call for action that you just announced in the European Parliament regarding Wuhan laboratory?
Yes, the fact that the European Union funded the Wuhan Institute of Virology is beyond discussion. It happened. For several years, the EU funded this institute with the aim of running a European virus archive. One of its stated goals was, and I quote, the production of viruses. Now, we still don't know whether EU funds, EU taxpayer funds, were used for this dangerous gain of function research, which, according to reports, was done under dentist level safety. We need to find that out. I believe that the European Parliament, as representatives of the peoples of Europe, has the moral responsibility to really try to find the truth behind the origins of the virus. Now, if it indeed was a lab leak, then we need to act to get international conventions in place, like the ones we have for nuclear energy, for instance, because this is really dangerous, and we have all felt the consequences of this pandemic. It must never, ever happen again.
Mr. Weimers, this is one of the things that actually, as I told you before, just blows my mind. What were the projects that were funded by the EU? Because according to the documents that are available, those were the programs that were going on for years.
Exactly. It went on for years, and as late as 2020, the EU committed 800,000 euros to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. And this was all part of Horizon 2020, which is a EU program to promote science and innovation. And it seems to me, now that we know that the United States, as well as Europe, really deferred research to China, that this kind of research is maybe not possible under our safety levels, under our regulations here. So we let the Chinese, with their more supposedly lax regulations, do this on behalf of us. This seems to be the case, and that's quite breathtaking, to be honest.
Do you think that you might be able to get support? Well, the ECR is a minority group in the European Parliament, but seems to me that the COVID pandemic should be think beyond the political trench lines and should be investigated, well, at least as far as we can go with finding out the information available regarding our money, European money that was spent on this program.
Yes, I do have support from the Conservatives in the European Parliament, and I have this week reached out to all MEPs in all groups, asking them to do whatever they can to have their groups support this. This is going to be decided at the Conference of Presidents in the European Parliament, which is consisting out of representatives of all the groups. So now my colleagues from the EPP, from the Social Democrats, from the Liberals, and so on, have the opportunity to support this cause, which favors both a credible second phase study on the origins of COVID-19, as well as finding out the use of EU funds in Wuhan. I think it will be hard for any MEP to say that this is beyond our responsibility or beneath our responsibility. This is indeed our responsibility to scrutinize the actions of the European Commission, to do whatever we can to safeguard people's health, public health. So I'm pretty optimistic. Also, historically, I think the European Parliament has been tiptoeing around China. But what we have seen this year with the parliament putting the trade deal with China on hold is that it's woken up, smelled the coffee, and now realize much more what the true nature of the People's Republic of China and the Communist Party of China. So I'm pretty optimistic after all.
So we are going to be close to this issue and take a look at the development of this story. Well, we knew that the United States sent some money to the Wuhan laboratory. We've heard that France did it as well. Now we know that the European Union as a union also funded research in this laboratory. Mr. Charlie Weimers, thank you very much for your time and for your presence on Michal Rachoń.